You're listening to the Cyberwire Network, powered by N2K.
This episode is brought to you by Palo Alto Networks, the leader in cybersecurity. As AI-driven attacks increase, organizations can't afford to have network security that's stuck in the past. Discover how Palo Alto Networks can help you predict what's coming and proactively secure against it with a zero-trust, AI-powered network security platform built to secure whatever, whenever, wherever. To learn more, visit paloaltonetworks.com/network security platform.
The word is Waterfall Software Development Method. Spelled waterfall, as in a cascade. Software, as in programs designed to perform well-defined functions. Development, as in an act of progress. And method, as in a particular procedure for finishing some task. Definition: a software development model that relies on a series of sequential steps that flow into each other like a series of waterfalls. Example sentence: some gaming studios still use the waterfall software development model to develop modern computer games. Origin and context. Herbert Bennington presented the first iteration of the waterfall model in 1956, although he didn't initially get credit. That honor went to Dr. Winston Royce, who wrote a criticism of the model but didn't name it in 1970. In his criticism, he included a well-designed graphic representation of the model that looked like a waterfall. Later that decade, 1976, T.E. Bell and T.A. Thayer coined the waterfall method, referring to Royce's diagrams. Royce's paper laid out several phases of a project: system and software requirements, analysis, design, implementation, testing, and operations. Under the waterfall model, each phase of the project must be completed before the next phase begins. Royce criticized this approach because testing occurs at the end of the project. Royce stated, quote, "The testing phase, which occurs at the end of the development cycle, is the first event for which timing, storage, input-output transfers, etc. are experienced and distinguished from analyzed. These phenomena are not precisely analyzable. They are not the solutions to the standard partial differential equations of mathematical physics, for instance. Yet, if these phenomena fail to satisfy the various external constraints, then invariably a major redesign is required," end quote. Despite these concerns, the U.S. Department of Defense began requiring contractors to use the waterfall model for their projects in 1985. This resulted in very slow development of government software products for over a decade and spawned the agile development model in the early 2000s. Nerd reference. In 2014, Sarah Verrilli taught the MIT OpenCourseWare class titled Creating Video Games. She covered the Agile software development model and explained that Agile was a direct reaction to the waterfall method because it was so slow.
So how do you manage to plan what you're going to need to do, get all of your resources in order, have them all in the right place at the right time, and get them working together? The old model of doing this, which is actually the model that I worked at in several studios, and I've seen several other studios that use it, and it doesn't work very well. But the model that things started with in the industry and grew from is waterfall. And I want to talk about that because it's where some studios still are, and it's where a lot of software projects still are. And so it's good to understand what the history of project management is, so you understand some of the problems that were found in that model that the Agile model is trying to fix. Agile has its own problems, and we'll talk about them, but let's start with waterfall. So the very traditional tool is waterfall, where you prepare for every stage, you sort of finish every stage 100%, and then you move on to the next stage to see what happens.
Word Notes is written by Tim Nodar, executive produced by Peter Kilpie, and edited by John Petrick and me, Rick Howard. The mix, sound design, and original music have all been crafted by the ridiculously talented Elliot Peltzman. Thanks for listening.
Now, a word from our sponsor, the Johns Hopkins University Information Security Institute, currently seeking qualified applicants for its innovative Master of Science in Security Informatics degree program. Study alongside world-class interdisciplinary experts and gain unparalleled educational, research, and professional experience in information security and assurance. Interested U.S. citizens should consider the National Science Foundation's CyberCore Scholarship for Service program, which covers tuition and a $6,000 annual professional development allowance, as well as providing a $37,000 additional annual stipend. Apply for the scholarship and the fall semester by March 1st. Learn more at cs.jhu.edu/MSSI.